Hi, and welcome to the 10th episode of Sarougal. In this episode, you will see the detailing of the elevated loop that connects all of the passenger terminals in St. Creel Airport. The loop is highly inspired by CGG Airport in Paris, but not an exact replica. The loop consists of urban expressways, an asset pack created by Amamlaya, and the messy intersections that we will detail first in this episode is created with invisible lanes and ploppable asphalt. I used Google Earth extensively in this build to create a very similar look to Charles de Gaulle. The loop has 3 different key elements. 1, the drive-through lanes that are furthest from the terminals. 2, the bus lanes that are closest to the terminals. And 3, the drop-off zones that are the lane in between, which I will detail later on in the episode. You can now see me fleshing out the shape of the intersection, making sure the cars and buses will fit and not collide with the concrete medians. The asset I used to create this custom-shaped concrete is the Vanilla Medians pack by Peluso. It's really great as when converted into procedural objects, it has a lot of vertexes that makes it possible to create a large variety of shapes pretty easily. So to finish the look, I add these very small lines to create smooth curves, and after that a couple of white markings as well. Speaking of these white markings, I had a hard time finding the right shade of white. At first it turned out too white when I used the default texture, but after a few tries making my own textures, I think I found the right one. At least it's pretty close to the line decals. The last step in detailing the surface is, of course, cracks and road wear decals to create the feeling of intersections that's been around for a while and that's heavily used. When I finished the first intersection, it was just a matter of repeating these steps for the other 7 intersections, starting here by adding fences and ploppable asphalt to make it look as seamless as it can get. Coming up next, you will see a few cinematics of the finished intersections. The only thing I am not satisfied with is how the pedestrians use the intersections, sometimes walking in the middle of the street or suddenly appearing from nowhere. But sadly, I've not found a way to fix that, so this will have to do for now. The next step was detailing the drop-off zones, which turned out to be a long process of trial and error before I found the right assets to use. The drop-off zones is in fact a 10-minute parking zone, so I guess you could call it a pickup/drop-off zone as well. But in any case, the longer-term parking is placed in other various locations of the airport. After a lot of searching, I found this French signal sign made by Hiroshiden, made it procedural, turned it upside down, and voila, got me some great looking height limiters instead. I also used a ruler prop to get the correct height in game. This sort of entrance is the start of the drop-off zones, with automatic parking barriers added later on. Parking barriers were also added at the end of each parking zone, which you will see later on in the time-lapse. I also added a few signs that I thought was necessary, like the "Don't Park on the Highway" sign and of course the height and width limit signs. I also made custom terminal signs to really make it visibly clear which terminal is which, along with signs of St. Creel's new airport logo. I will assume that you enjoyed the last few minutes of this time-lapse, and after that a full cinematic overview of the elevated loop up close. The build ended up taking a lot of time to complete, but the end result was way worth it in my opinion. It really connects the terminals in both style and functionality, making it look and work very realistically. I hope you enjoyed this episode and found it useful and inspirational for creating your own builds in Cities Skylines. If you want, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, so you don't miss any future episodes. I'm also active on Reddit and Twitter, so if you want to see more frequent updates of what I'm making, look me up there as well. I'll leave all the links in the description. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.